Opening. Fruits that kill or cure. The shocking truth at 65 plus. Did you know that every day, over 1,000 seniors over 65 spike their blood sugar into the danger zone just by eating fruit? Yes, fruit. According to a 2023 Journal of Clinical Nutrition study? That's right. Those healthy snacks could be fast-tracking you to diabetes, stroke, or worse, with a 57% higher risk of metabolic syndrome. Scarier still? You're probably munching the wrong ones right now. But hold on. Some fruits are like nature's anti-aging pills, slashing heart risks and rewiring your brain to act 10 years younger. Stick around for the 4 you must eat daily, and the 4 to ditch pronto. The last one's a juicy disaster you'll never see coming. Fruit 1 to eat. Avocado, your heart's greasy guardian. Think avocados are just for hipster selfies? Nope. They're a senior's heart-saving ace. Packed with monounsaturated fats, oleic acid. 1 avocado, 975 milligrams potassium. Trumps bananas at slashing blood pressure and boots bad LDL cholesterol out while boosting good HDL. Lutein keeps your eyes sharp, and those fats supercharge nutrient absorption from veggies by up to 15 times. It's like a health hack in green goo. For seniors, this is your greasy guardian against the clock. Meet Maria, 68, a retired nurse from San Diego. Night shifts fueled by coffee and donuts left her with high cholesterol, over 200, and blurry vision by 65. She shrugged it off, just old age. Until her daughter Sophia, a yoga nut, nagged her to try healthier eats. "I don't need your green mush," Maria snapped, preferring aspirin to avocados. Then the hook hit. One Saturday, a dizzy spell sent her stumbling into her rose bushes, nearly face-planting. Sophia rushed her to urgent care, where the doc warned, "Cholesterol's a time bomb. Fix it in 6 months, or it's meds and a wheelchair." Maria, the ER warrior, gulped. Sophia shoved half an avocado on her toast daily. Lemon, salt, no butter. Maria grumbled about hippie food, but stuck with it. At first, nothing. No miracles, just a grumpy nurse eating green stuff. But a month in, her morning fog lifted, and her eyes caught newspaper fine print without squinting. 6 months later, back at the docks, the truth hit. Cholesterol down 20% to 160, BP at 130 over 80, vision sharper. "Statins?" the doc asked. Maria smirked. "Nope, just that weird fruit Sophia forced on me." That mush had quietly rebuilt her heart and eyes while she was busy scoffing. Now she's the one asking, "Got more avocado?" Avocados tackle heart disease, hypertension, and fading sight. A triple win for seniors like Maria. Who knew a fruit could outsmart a pharmacy? Fruit 2 to eat. Apples, the gut's crunchy sidekick. Think apples are just pie fodder or teacher bribes. Wrong. They're a senior's gut-kicking, heart-saving buddy, packed with pectin fiber. Apples feed your belly's good bugs, sweep cholesterol out like a broom, and keep blood sugar steadier than a tightrope walker. Flavonoids like quercetin zap inflammation, and all that crunching buffs your gums tougher than a cowboy's boots. Low glycemic load means no sugar roller coasters. A diabetes-dodging win for the 65-plus club. It's not just a fruit, it's your body's bouncer. Meet Harold, 70, a retired trucker from Cleveland, Ohio, with a belly that had seen too many diner fries and a ticker that wasn't ticking right. Back in his hauling days, Harold lived on greasy burgers and soda, laughing off his wife Ruth's pleas to eat a dang vegetable. By 68, his cholesterol was pushing 220, his gut growled like a busted engine, and his dentist was eyeing a fat bill for gum issues. "It's just old age," he'd grunt, popping antacids like candy. Ruth, a no-nonsense gardener, kept shoving apples at him, but Harold waved her off. "I ain't a rabbit, woman." He'd rather wrestle a flat tire than nibble fruit. Then came the hook that shook his cab. One frosty morning, mid-haul of his grandkid's soccer gear, Harold doubled over with chest pain so sharp he dropped the bag and hit the couch, gasping. Ruth called 911, and the ER doc didn't sugarcoat it. Your cholesterol's a heart attack waiting to happen. Ditch the fries or get meds in 6 months. Harold, who'd once driven through blizzards without blinking, felt his macho armor crack. Ruth seized the moment. 1 apple a day, or I'm hiding your beer. Grumbling, he grabbed a red apple. No peeling, just a skeptical chomp, muttering about bunny food the whole time. First week? Nada. He didn't sprout wings or bench press his truck. But by week 3, his usual gut rumbles quieted, and he wasn't reaching for antacids after breakfast. A month in, he caught himself climbing stairs without wheezing, and his dentist blinked at a checkup. Gums look tougher. What's up? 6 months later, back at the docks, the truth hit like a freight train. LDL cholesterol down 15% to 187, blood sugar stable, and his gut humming smoother than his old rig. Meds? The doc asked. Harold smirked. Nope, just Ruth's dumb apples. That rabbit snack had quietly fixed his pipes while he was too stubborn to notice. Now he's the one tossing apples in the cart, bragging. Beats a pill any day. For seniors like Harold, apples are a triple threat champ. Gut, heart, and mouth. Who knew a crunch could outmuscle a fryer? Fruit 3 to eat. Pomegranate, the artery's red-hot hero. Think pomegranates are just fancy salad sprinkles? Nope. They're a senior's artery-cleansing, brain-zapping secret weapon, bursting with punic-agents. Antioxidants so fierce they slash artery stress by 30%, Atherosclerosis Journal. These ruby reds drop systolic blood pressure 5 to 21% and turbocharge memory. UCLA says daily juice drinkers ace verbal memory tests, like rewinding your brain a decade. Low glycemic index means no sugar spikes. It's a heart and head hero for the 65-plus crew. Who needs a cape when you've got seeds? Meet Ellen, 72, a retired teacher from Tampa, Florida, with a tale that'll make you rethink your fruit stash. Ellen spent decades grading papers and herding kids, fueled by tea and sheer grit. By 70, her blood pressure was sneaking past 145/90, and her memory was fuzzier than a chalkboard eraser. She'd forget names mid-sentence, a nightmare for a trivia buff. Just old age, she sighed, shrugging off her son Jake's health lectures. Jake, a gym rat with a juicer obsession, kept pushing pomegranate juice. Mom, it's science, Ellen snorted. I'd rather grade detention slips than drink that mess. She'd stick to her tea. Thanks. Then came the hook that flipped her chalkboard. One humid afternoon, Ellen blanked out during a family barbecue. Mid-story about her first class, she froze, couldn't name her old principal, and nearly dropped her iced tea as her head spun. Jake hauled her to the doc, who laid it grim. Your BP's a stroke risk, and memory lapses could mean early decline. Shape up in 3 months or it's pills. Ellen, who'd once out-talked rowdy teens, felt her pride crumble. Jake pounced. Half a cup of pomegranate seeds a day. Try it. Muttering about hippie nonsense, she caved, tossing seeds into her yogurt like a grumpy kid forced to eat veggies. First week, zilch, no superpowers, just a messy shirt from seed spills. But by week 3, her usual afternoon slump faded. She stayed sharp through Jeopardy reruns. A month in, she nailed a trivia answer Jake fumbled, and her dizzy spells vanished. 3 months later, the doc's jaw dropped. BP down 10 points to 135/85. Memory tests aced like she was 60 again. Meds? He asked. Ellen grinned. Nope, just Jake's silly seeds. That hippie mess had quietly scrubbed her arteries and rebooted her brain while she was too stubborn to notice. Now she's the one pouring juice at BBQs, crowing. Told you I'm still sharp. For seniors like Ellen, pomegranates are a double whammy. Heart smoother, brain younger. Who knew red dots could outsmart a pill bottle? Fruit 4 to eat. Berries, your brain's tiny time machines. Fruit 4 to eat. Berries, your brain's tiny time machines. Image of a senior tossing blueberries into oatmeal, winking like they've cheated age. Think berries are just smoothie bling? Wrong. These little gems are seniors' brain-rewinding, heart-pumping powerhouses. Loaded with anthocyanins, they zap inflammation, delay cognitive aging by 2.5 years, annals of neurology, and steady your balance to dodge those nasty falls. They lower blood pressure, loosen arteries, and pack 8 g fiber per cup to keep glucose chill. No diabetes drama here. For the 65-plus squad, berries aren't just snacks. They're tiny time machines for your noggin and ticker. Meet George, 67, a retired cop from Portland, Maine, with a story that'll make you rethink your donut stash. George spent decades patrolling streets, living on coffee and pastries. A tough guy who laughed at health food. By 65, his memory was mush, forgetting radio codes he'd known cold, and his legs wobbled like a rookie on ice. Old age, he growled, brushing off his daughter Lisa's pleas to eat better. Lisa, a nurse with a berry obsession, kept shoving blueberries at him. "Dad, it's science," George scoffed. "I'd rather chase perps than rabbits." He'd stick to his glazed fixes. Then came the hook that flipped his badge. One crisp fall day, mid-tossing a football with his grandson, George tripped over nothing, hit the deck hard, ball flying, and lay there dazed as Lisa ran over yelling. She dragged him to the doc, who didn't flinch. "Your balance is shot, brain's foggy. Fix it in 3 months or it's a cane and memory meds." George, who'd once tackled felons, felt his tough guy shell crack. Lisa pounced. "1 cup of berries a day, try it." Grumbling about bunny chow, he tossed a handful into his oatmeal, muttering the whole time. First week, zip. No miracles, just a stained shirt from berry juice. But by week 2, he wasn't fumbling names at the precinct reunion, and his legs felt less like jelly on stairs. A month in, he caught the football mid-throw without a wobble, grinning as Lisa gaped. 3 months later, the doc blinked at the results. Blood pressure down 8 points to 132/82, balance steady. Memory tests aced like he was 55 again. "Pills?" the doc asked. George smirked. "Nope, just Lisa's dumb berries." Those rabbit snacks had quietly rewired his brain and steadied his step while he was too macho to notice. Now he's the one sneaking berries into his coffee shop order, bragging, "Still got it, kid." For seniors like George, berries are a triple win: sharper mind, stronger heart, surer feet. Who knew tiny dots could outsmart a cane? Fruit 1 to avoid. Grapes, the sugar sneak attack. Think grapes are just nature's candy, sweet, innocent, and good for you? Wrong. They're sugar grenades ready to blast your blood sugar into orbit. 1 cup packs 23 g of sugar with barely any fiber to slow it down, hitting seniors' sluggish metabolisms like a soda bomb. Add pesticide risks if they're not organic, and you've got a sneaky health thief for the 65-plus crowd. These little orbs might look harmless, but they're a diabetes and inflammation trap in disguise. Meet Linda, 66, a retired librarian from Austin, Texas, with a tale that'll make you side-eye your fruit bowl. Linda loved her routine, shelving books all day, then unwinding with a bowl of grapes while flipping through novels. "They're healthy, right?" she'd say, popping them like popcorn. Her doc had mumbled about watching sugar, but Linda waved it off. She wasn't chugging cola, just nibbling fruit. Her daughter Emily, a dietitian with a hawk's eye, kept warning her. "Mom, those grapes are trouble." Linda laughed. "I'm not eating candy bars, kid." She'd rather wrestle a dusty tome than ditch her snack. Then came the hook that shook her stacks. One steamy afternoon, mid-chapter of a mystery novel, Linda felt a dizzy rush. Her hand shook, the book slipped, and she slumped into her armchair, heart racing like a plot twist. Emily rushed her to the clinic, where the doc dropped a bomb. "Your blood sugar's spiking at 180, pre-diabetes territory. Those grapes are soda in fruit form, cut, or its insulin in 6 months. Linda, who'd once alphabetized a library in a day, felt her smugness crumble. Emily pounced. No more grapes, try berries. Grumbling about health police. Linda swapped her bowl for a carrot, muttering the whole time. First week off grapes? Rough? She missed the sweet pop, feeling like a kid without dessert. But by week 2, her afternoon slumps faded. No more shaky hands mid-page. A month in, she breezed through a book without nodding off, and her energy didn't crash like a bad sequel. 6 months later, the doc's jaw hit the floor. Blood sugar down to 110, no prediabetes shadow looming. Meds? He asked. Linda smirked. Nope, just ditched Emily's little sugar bombs. Those healthy grapes had been quietly jacking her glucose while she was too busy reading to notice. Now she's the one lecturing Emily. Should have listened sooner. For seniors like Linda, grapes are a sugar sneak attack, spiking blood, stoking inflammation, and inviting diabetes. Who knew a fruit could be such a backstabber? Fruit 2 to avoid. Dried fruits, the sweet shrink-ray disaster. Think dried fruits are a wholesome nibble. All chewy and virtuous? Nope. They're sugar bricks shrunk down by some evil genius shrink-ray, ready to wreck your health. A handful crams in fructose from multiple fresh fruits, no water or fiber to tame it, spiking your blood sugar faster than a candy spree. Toss in sulfites, those sneaky preservatives, and you've got inflammation and wheezing risks, especially for seniors with creaky lungs or arthritis, half the 65-plus crowd. These little nuggets are a sweet disaster in disguise. Meet Jim, 69, a retired farmer from Topeka, Kansas, with a story that'll make you rethink your pantry. Jim spent his life tending wheat fields, winding down with a bag of dried apricots. Better than chips, he'd brag, munching away while watching weather reports. His doc had muttered about sugar and his creaky joints, but Jim shrugged it off. He wasn't scarfing Twinkies. His wife Clara, a baker with a sharp nose, kept nagging. "Those things are trouble, Jim," he'd snort. "I'm not eating frosting, woman." He'd rather wrestle a tractor than ditch his treat. Then came the hook that flipped his harvest. One windy afternoon, mid-bite of an apricot, Jim started wheezing, a dry, hacking cough that doubled him over, dropping the bag as Clara yelled for help. She dragged him to the doc, who didn't blink. "Your sugar's spiking, and those sulfites are choking your lungs. COPD's knocking. Ditch em, or it's an oxygen tank in 3 months." Jim, who'd once hauled hay bales in storms, felt his farmer grit crack. Clara pounced. "No more dried junk, try apples." Grumbling about health cops, he swapped his bag for a fresh fruit, muttering the whole time. First week off the dried stuff? Brutal. He missed the chew, feeling like a cow without cud. But by week 2, his wheezing faded. No more gasping through the nightly news. A month in, his joints didn't ache as much hauling firewood, and his energy didn't tank like a busted combine. 3 months later, the doc's eyes popped. Blood sugar steady at 105, lungs clearer, no COPD shadow. "Meds?" he asked. Jim grinned. "Nope, just ditched Clara's little sugar bricks." Those healthy nibbles had been quietly jacking his glucose and choking his breath while he was too stubborn to notice. Now he's the one tossing apricots in the compost, crowing, "Fresh beets dried any day." For seniors like Jim, dried fruits are a shrink-ray catastrophe, spiking sugar, stoking inflammation, and rattling lungs. Who knew a snack could be such a health heist? Fruit 3 to avoid. Unripe bananas, the gut's green grump. Think unripe bananas are a health hack with their green glow? Wrong. They're gut grenades for seniors, packing resistant starch that's a breeze for young bellies, but a bloating beast after 65. Hard to digest, they stir up gas and block nutrient absorption, offering none of the ripe version's antioxidant perks. For the IBS crowd or anyone with a sluggish gut, half the 65-plus gang. These chalky chumps are a digestive disaster waiting to explode. Skip M unless you want a bellyache serenade. Meet Mary, 71, a retired florist from Eugene, Oregon, with a tale that'll make you rethink your banana stash. Mary loved her flower shop days, arranging roses and nibbling whatever was handy, usually cookies. By 69, her digestion was crankier than a rained-out wedding, and her energy lagged from nutrient woes. Her grandson Tim, a fitness buff with a smoothie obsession, kept pushing green bananas. "Gran, they're superfood gold." Mary rolled her eyes. "I'm not a monkey, kid," but grabbed one anyway, lured by health hype, figuring it beat her cookie habit. Then came the hook that flipped her bouquet. One busy morning, mid-arranging a big order for a bride, Mary chomped a green banana. And within an hour, she was doubled over, bloating like a balloon, clutching her counter as gas rumbled louder than the shop's radio. Tim found her groaning and rushed her to the doc, who didn't sugarcoat it. "That starch is trashing your gut. IBS is flaring. Ditch M, or it's meds and misery in 2 months." Mary, who'd once wired roses under deadline pressure, felt her flower power wilt. Tim begged, "Try ripe ones instead." Grumbling about health nuts, she swapped to yellow bananas, muttering the whole time. First week off the green ghouls? Torture. She missed the firm bite, feeling like a toddler without a teether. But by week 2, her belly stopped staging gas symphonies. No more doubling over mid-vase. A month in, she arranged a dozen bouquets without a groan, and her energy perked up like spring blooms. 2 months later, the doc blinked at her chart. Digestion smooth, nutrient levels up, no IBS flare-ups. "Pills?" he asked. Mary smirked. "Nope, just ditch Tim's green gutbusters." Those superfood bananas had been quietly clogging her pipes while she was too proud to notice. Now she's the one snagging ripe ones, bragging. Yellow's the real gold. For seniors like Mary, unripe bananas are a green grump. Bloating guts, stealing nutrients, and souring days. Who knew a fruit could be such a belly bully? Fruit 4 to avoid. Grapefruit, the med-wrecking menace. Think grapefruit's a zesty health champ. All tart and virtuous? Wrong. It's a med-messing monster for seniors. Furanocoumarins in this sour sneak block the CYP3A4 enzyme, jacking up 85 plus meds. Statins, BP pills, you name it, to toxic levels. Half a fruit can spike Lipitor 400%, risking kidney chaos or worse, with effects lingering 72 hours. For the 65-plus pill-popping crowd, it's not a fruit, it's a pharmacy prank gone rogue. Squeeze it at your peril. Meet Bob, 73, a retired mechanic from Tucson, Arizona, with a tale that'll make you rethink your citrus stash. Bob spent decades fixing engines, winding down with a grapefruit half. "Keeps me spry," he'd boast, slicing it like a pro. On statins for cholesterol since 70, he ignored his doc's vague, "Watch your diet" mumble. He wasn't chugging beer. His son Pete, a pharmacist with a nerd streak, kept warning, "Dad, grapefruit's a no-go with your pills." Bob laughed. "I'm not eating junk, kid." He'd rather wrestle a carburetor than ditch his tangy ritual. Here's the DM Nan that glued eyes to his story. One scorching afternoon, Bob decided to impress Pete at a family cookout. He hauled out his old toolbox, grapefruit in hand, and started tuning up the grill like it was a '68 Chevy, cracking mechanic jokes while chowing down. Picture it. A 73-year-old grease monkey, apron on, juggling a wrench and citrus, regaling the crowd with tales of busted fan belts. Until his hands cramped mid-twist, legs wobbled, and he plopped onto a lawn chair, dazed as Pete gaped. "What's with the shaky act?" Pete asked, snatching the fruit. Bob shrugged. Until the doc visit later spilled the beans. The verdict? Your statins through the roof, grapefruit's pumping at 400%, muscle breakdowns hitting. Ditch it or it's ER in a month. Bob, who'd once rebuilt a truck in a dust storm, felt his wrench slip. Pete pounced. No more sour sabotage, try berries. Grumbling about pill police. Bob swapped his citrus for blueberries, muttering the whole time. First week off grapefruit? Rough. He missed the zing, sulking like a kid without soda. But by week 2, his hands steadied. No more cramps mid-screwdriver. A month in, he fixed the grill without a wobble, energy humming like a tuned engine. Doc's checkup sealed it. Cholesterol managed, no kidney red flags. New pills? The doc asked. Bob smirked. Nope, just ditched Pete's Med-Wrecker. That spry fruit had been quietly trashing his system while he was too proud to notice. Now he's the one chucking grapefruits, bragging. Berries beat your tune-up? For seniors like Bob, grapefruit's a med-wrecking menace, juicing pills into poison. Who knew a fruit could hotwire your health? Wrap up. Pick your fruits, win your years. Image of a senior juggling berries and avocados, grinning with a pup nearby. Over 1,000 seniors tank their health daily with the wrong fruits. But you don't have to. Maria's heart sings with avocado, Harold's gut loves apples, Ellen's brain zaps with pomegranate, George dances thanks to berries, while Linda, Jim, Mary, and Bob dodge disasters by ditching grapes, dried fruits, green bananas, and grapefruit. These aren't just snacks. They're your ticket to a sharper mind, stronger heart, and extra years. So grab some tea or a burger. Chat with your doc if you're on meds and pick wisely. Which fruit shocked you most? Drop it below. I'm all ears. Hit like, subscribe, and let's keep cracking health codes together. Catch you next time. Don't let a grape steal your groove.